are listening to the Bold Action Taker podcast with Kirsty Knight. I'm your host, Kirsty, and this is the podcast to help you up-level your self-belief, self-confidence, and self-discipline so you've got the courage to take bold action in your business, become your most productive self, and achieve your boldest money goal yet. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to part 7 of the Why Can't I Fit It All In series. Okay, so today we are talking about wearing too many hats in your business, and more specifically, not wearing them very well, not pulling them off, because this is something that I have struggled with in the past, and I see it with a lot of my clients who are earlier on in their business, and it is one of the reasons why you aren't fitting it all in. And I have touched on this before on the podcast, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper here today. So what does this look like? What does wearing all the hats even mean? And how do we know if we are doing it? Well, it looks like trying to do every single task in your business from day one. It looks like trying to learn how to do everything that needs to get done in your business. It looks like knowing that there are other people who could probably do the project or task for you more quickly and more easily, but you decide to do it yourself. For many of you, this might mean designing and building your website, launching and then editing your podcast each week, creating your social media posts on Canva, editing your reels and video content, tracking and reconciling your expenses and income, learning how to do the tech to create your online sales funnels, learning how to run Facebook ads and then you running them, organising your back office, creating your own legal contracts, or handling admin tasks and customer service issues, as well as, of course, doing the delivery of your product or service and creating your content and doing all the other things involved in running your business. All of it. And the reasons behind you trying to do all of this, even the things that don't have to be done by you necessarily, are potentially because you're trying to get it right. Maybe you've heard someone say you shouldn't be hiring additional help in your business until you reach a certain point, until you reach a certain time frame or a level of revenue in your business. And so you are following their advice to get it right. Or maybe you have fears around other people not doing as good a job as you, and you think that you doing it has a higher chance of you getting it right. Maybe you have been burned in the past and you don't want to get burned again by outsourcing. Maybe you're just trying to save money. You think it will be cheaper if you do it yourself. Maybe you don't feel comfortable investing in someone else, either to hire or to outsource to yet, because you don't have the money coming in via that business yet. Or maybe you don't trust that you will be able to bring money in within the hours they save you. Maybe you don't know where to start to outsource or find someone reliable. Maybe you want to learn the ins and outs of your business yourself first. Maybe you don't want to be reliant on someone else having to do the task for you. You would rather be self-sufficient. So even if you do hire help and outsource later on in your business, you could always get the job done yourself if you needed to, if they were sick or delayed getting it done for some reason. Maybe you're trying to prove to yourself and others that you can do it all and fit it all in, because you think that it means something negative about you if you can't. Maybe you genuinely don't see how you can figure out the challenge of sourcing the funds to invest or outsource. Maybe you just think this is how it should be done. Whatever the reason, and there are many, as you can see, the problem that most people find when they have this stance on hiring or outsourcing, and when they are trying to do it all themselves instead, is that they are struggling to fit it all in. And the first and the main reason for this is because of the inefficiencies that come from the fact that you aren't usually good at all of those different jobs in your business, because they cover a wide range of different skill sets and knowledge bases. And unless you have run businesses before this one and taken the time to master each skill set and area, most likely you won't have developed all of these skill sets and the necessary knowledge. This means you are going to take longer to perform the tasks. It will be clunky and inefficient. You will probably make mistakes or have to spend time correcting them, and most of them will be ineffective at creating the results you want from them. And all of these inefficiencies add up to more time. And this is based on you already having sufficient knowledge to even know where to get started with them. If you don't even have this to begin with, then you are going to have to first spend time learning the basics of them before you start taking action on any of them. which wouldn't necessarily be a problem if the time frame from you getting financial returns from your business, from you conducting these tasks, were longer. I mean, if you had all the time in the world to learn each area of business and you wanted to learn how to master each area yourself, then it wouldn't be a problem you being inefficient. But most people want to start generating revenue soon after their doors open, and so this is a barrier to this. So that's the first reason. The second reason why you might be struggling to fit it all in, if you are trying to wear all the hats in your business, is that there will be tasks that you simply don't want to do, even if you can do them, even if you have the knowledge and the skill to doing them, even if you are efficient at doing them. The problem with this is that our brains are wired to seek dopamine, i.e. things that give us pleasure, and avoid discomfort. And this includes uncomfortable emotions like boredom or displeasure, which means that us trying to do things that we have decided we don't like results in us creating a certain level of resistance to doing them, which means we have to overcome that level of resistance every time we want to get that task done. And as this takes conscious effort, and a lot of us are operating on autopilot, we end up procrastinating over the task. Putting it off, pushing it further forward, conveniently forgetting about it, or feeling guilty about it not getting done and still not doing it. And all of this adds to more mind drama and reinforces the story that you're telling yourself that you can't fit it all in. Whereas if you actually wanted to do the thing and enjoyed it, you would probably get started immediately and complete it in no time at all. So that's the second reason. The third reason why you won't be able to fit it all in is simply because of the complexity of all of the different bits and pieces and tasks that you are trying to juggle. Unless you have a clear plan of what needs doing and when it can get done, and your business has simple processes and systems in place for getting certain things done, more than likely, you won't be able to hold all of the to-dos in your head. And what happens in this scenario is that our brains start to believe it is too much. We're trying to do too much. There is too much to do, which overwhelms us. And for most of us, our nervous system response to overwhelm is to freeze up or avoid our to-do list. We distract ourselves with something else more manageable. Housework, scrolling on social media, for example. When we are overwhelmed, we struggle to know what to prioritize. So we end up not making the best decisions when it comes to what we are getting done. So instead of us moving the needle, we focus on the easy, quick wins that aren't necessarily contributing to generating more revenue or increasing profits. And you may also be neglecting other areas that you need to be addressing, that no one else can do, simply because you are feeling overwhelmed and you aren't able to successfully fit it all into your week. So what is the solution? Well, the simple solution, of course, is to take some things off your plate. To stop wearing all the hats. So to do this, the very first thing I want you to do is note down all of the tasks that you are currently doing or trying to do in your business. Get it all out of your head and onto paper. If it's challenging to think of everything, you can think of them in terms of the customer journey. So starting with marketing. What do you do to get in front of potential new customers? What is the process for that? What things do you do? What preparation work is required for that? Then what is your sales process? How do you take them from being someone who knows who you are to someone who is committing to purchase your product or service? What happens after they buy? To them, to the money, the invoice, the receipt. How do you then deliver their service? What are the ways in which you communicate with them? What about after you have delivered the service or product? What happens next for the customer? What happens in your back office? What happens when we are planning for the future? When new decisions get made about offers? Once you have mapped these processes out, it will be easy to see where certain processes are potentially being made overcomplicated or are overlapping, where they could be simplified, where they could be streamlined, where steps could be cut out potentially that would save you having to do them and still get the same results. That is the first step. The next step is to look through the processes again, but with the eyes of someone who is looking to remove the human requirement. Could any of those steps that you have deemed are necessary be completed by automation somehow, and it still get the same results or better? And then the last step is to figure out which tasks are where your time is best used and which tasks are left that you can either delegate or outsource to someone else. And the process I recommend, and that was taught to me by one of my earlier coaches, and I think Michael Hyatt also teaches this, is to categorize all of the tasks that have to be done in your business into one of 4 different quadrants. Tasks you are good at and enjoy, tasks you are good at but don't enjoy, tasks you are bad at but enjoy, and tasks you are bad at but don't enjoy. So the tasks that you are bad at and don't enjoy are to go first. They are to be delegated or outsourced first. Then the tasks that you are good at but don't enjoy, they go next. So that you can focus on the tasks that are within your unique zone of genius, that you are good at and love to do. And consciously decide if you want to spend some time learning how to get better at the other tasks you enjoy, but you aren't that skilled at yet. This will immediately eliminate the inefficiency and resistance around those tasks you aren't good at and don't like, or even the ones you are good at but have to work up to making yourself do them. And the chances are, as soon as you've done this, you'll get more done and feel better about your business overall, with other people helping you move the needle on those tasks that, let's face it, you are mostly just avoiding and not getting done. Now, in order for you to take some of these hats off and outsource or delegate them, or even automate some of them, we have to counter all of the reasons why you started out doing it all yourself in the first place, and why you think you should carry on doing it yourself. And the obstacles that will come up that will make it hard to counter these reasons will fall into 2 categories: circumstantial problems and thought problems. So, circumstantial problems. These are the facts of the situation that we have to deal with. So this might include the business not generating any income yet to be able to afford hiring or outsourcing from the business account yet. Or it might be a lack of knowledge or skills in hiring and managing other people, or you not having any experience of hiring before. And it also might be that it is possible that you end up hiring someone who does not do a good job right away. These are the facts, the truth of the situation. So we do have to figure out how to solve for these things if we want to move away from us doing it all. And then there are thought problems. So this is how we are thinking about those circumstances, and how we are thinking about ourselves, and what we are thinking that is creating resistance or fear around hiring or outsourcing. And these are actually the things that we have to tackle in order to make those changes. Because even if there are circumstantial problems that exist when it comes to hiring or outsourcing, the impact of them on our business, on the outcome of hiring, has everything to do with how we are thinking. We can overcome circumstantial problems with the right attitude, level of resilience, determination, creativity, and willingness to learn. Or we can be stopped dead in our tracks by them if we make them mean we can't do it. And our thinking, our all or nothing thinking, our thoughts about us, our thoughts that generate fears, our worst case scenario explorations in our head, that is what will prevent us from taking that scary step and committing to taking those things off our plate, even if we're right at the beginning of our business journey. So this is where the coaching needs to come in. So you can learn to overcome the money scarcity and fears that you have overshadowing your decisions, so that you can learn to develop the self-trust you need in order to back your decisions around it, so that you can learn how to manage your mind and your emotions around the challenges that will come from making changes that don't feel comfortable for you to make yet your business needs in order to grow. So if you know that you have resistance or fear to letting some things go in your business, to outsourcing or hiring, yet you know that you can't fit it all in, and you know intellectually that is the thing that will help you get things moving in your business, this is exactly what I help my clients with. So reach out to me, book a call on the link in the show notes below so we can get started. That's it for this week, peeps. Have a hugely productive and action-taking filled week. See you next week. Hey, thanks for listening to the Bold Action Taker podcast with Kirsty Knight. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you'll want to make sure that you are in my community, because every single month I offer something for free that will help you. That might be a one-to-one session with me, sometimes a mini training, a workshop, a free resource, or a small gift that will help you either get unstuck or simply add more joy to your business journey. Go to my website, www.kirsty, kirstyknightcoaching.com/subscribe to make sure you don't miss out.